The list of names is carved around the base. A wisp of cloud hung in the blue air. Whitings are small fish caught in nets. We tried to replace the coin, but failed. Press the pants, and sew a button on the vest. The ship was torn apart on the sharp reef. A plea for funds seems to come again. Draw the chart with heavy black lines. Stop and stare at the hard-working man. When the frost has come, it is time for Turk. We now have a new base for shipping. Jerk the rope, and the bell rings weak. Brass rings are sold by these natives. Crouch before you jump, or miss the mark. Both lost their lives in the raging storm. Pre-ice frosted the punch bowl. The ship was torn apart on the sharp reef. The dark pot hung in the front closet. A joy to every child is the swan boat. The square peg will settle in the round hole. Seed is needed to plant the spring corn. Lush fern grow on the lofty rocks. The box was thrown beside the parked truck. The shaky barn fell with a loud crash. The vamp of a shoe had a gold buckle. The goose was brought straight from the old market. The ram scared the school children off. Glass will clink when struck by metal. Thieves who rob friends deserve jail. The gold vase is both rare and costly. Kick the ball straight and follow through. Slide the bill between the two leaves. She danced like a swan, tall and graceful. 2 + 7 is less than 10. Twist the valve and release hot steam. The slang word for raw whisk is booze. It's easy to tell the depth of well. The spot on the blotter was made by green ink. The facts don't always show who is right. 2 bluefish swam in the tank. Hoist the load to your left shoulder. The green light in the brown box flickered. The term ended in late June that year. Farmers came in to thresh the oat crop. Tuck the sheet under the edge of the mat. He said the same phrase 30 times. Dots of light betrayed the black cat. The bill as paid every 3rd week. Shake hands with this friend child. The sofa cushion is red and of light weight. The cleat sank deep into the soft turf. The smell of burned rags itches my nose. The gloss on top made it unfit to read. The bark of a pine tree was shiny and dark. The zones merge in the central part of town. A thin book fits in the side pocket. Note close the size of a gas tank. A waxed floor makes us lose balance. Float the soap on top of the bath water. The pot boiled, but the contents failed to gel. Type out 3 lists of orders. The barrel of beer was a brew of malt and hops. The stale smell of old beer lingers. Sit on the perch and tell the others what to do. Grape juice and water mix well. The cough stand is too high for the couch. Jump the fence and hurry up the bank. The new girl was fired today at noon. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Corn cobs can be used to kindle a fire. The juice of lemons makes fine punch. It caught its hind paw in a rusty trap. The square wooden crate was packed to be shipped. A chink in the wall allowed a draft to blow. The couch cover and hall drapes were blue. The long journey home took a year. He knew the skill of a great young actress. The way to save money is not to spend much. Smoke poured out of every crack. Even the worst will beat his low score. We talked to the slideshow in the circus. Float the soap on top of the bath water. Set the piece here and say nothing. The water in this well is a source of good health. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. Cut the cord that binds the box tight. Plead to the council to free the poor thief. 10 pins were set in order. Shake the dust from your shoes, stranger. The spot on the blotter was made by green ink. Smile when you say nasty words. Small children came to see him. Stop whistling and watch the boys march. The bark of a pine tree was shiny and dark. This strong arm shall shield your honor. The tin box held priceless stones. At night the alarm roused him from a deep sleep. The work of a tailor is seen on each side. Weave the carpet on the right-hand side. It was hidden from sight by a mass of leaves and shrubs. The kite flew wild in the high wind. Bring your best compass to the 3rd class. They sang the same tunes at each party. The horse trotted around the field at brisk pace. The mute muffled the high tones of a horn. The streets are narrow and full of sharp turns. The pot boiled, but the contents failed to gel. The cup cracked and spilled its contents. Will you please answer that phone? Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. Both brothers were the same size. The straw nest housed 5 robins. The loss of a second ship was hard to take. The beauty of a view stunned the young boy. Say it slow! Why, but make it ring clear. These days a chicken leg is a rare dish. Tuck the sheet under the edge of a mat. Acid burns holes in wool cloth. Twist the valve and release hot steam. The vast space stretched into the far distance. A gold ring will please most any girl. Sell your gift to a buyer at good gain. She danced like a swan, tall and graceful. The wide road shimmered in the hot sun. Tea served from the brown jug is tasty. The roof should be tilted at sharp slant. The box is held by a bright red snapper. The weight of the package was seen on the high scale. The bills were mailed prompt on the 10th of the month. Breakfast buns are fine with a hot drink. The cone costs 5 cents on Mondays. The stray cat gave birth to kittens. The 3 storehouse was built of stone. The stale smell of old beer lingers. Say it slow! Why, but make it ring clear. The poor boy missed the boat again. The desk was firm on the shaky floor. To have is better than to wait and hope. Their eyelids droop for want of sleep. Greet the new guests and leave quick. A rod is used to catch pink salmon. She blushed when he gave her a white orchid. All sat frozen and watched the screen. These pills do less good than others. Raise the sail and steer the ship northward. Rake the rubbish up and then burn it. Small children came to see him. Down that road is the way to the grain farmer. The lazy cow lay in the cool grass. A severe storm tore down the barn. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. He lent his coat to the tall gaunt stranger. A lathe cuts and trims and wood. The doorknob was made of bright clean brass. The grass and bushes were wet with dew. The large house had hot water taps. Our troops are set to strike heavy blows. Ship maps are different from those for planes. The lamp shone with a steady green flame. Fill your pack with bright trinkets for the poor. The 3rd act was dull and tired the players. He wrote his last novel there at the inn. A castle built from sand fails to endure. The brass tube circled the high wall. It caught its hind paw in a rusty trap. The wrist was badly strained and hung limp. There are many ways to do these things. Yell and clap as the curtain slides back. The sofa cushion is red and of light weight. Seed is needed to plant the spring corn. Paper will dry out when wet. Once we stood beside the shore. The goose was brought straight from the old market. Pack the kits, and don't forget the salt. A child's wit saved the day for us. Flax makes a fine brand of paper. His shirt was clean, but one button was gone. Roads are paved with sticky tar. The boy was there when the sun rose. Roman 2 cloud of dust stung his tender eyes. Feed the white mouse sunflower seeds. The pipe ran almost the length of a ditch. A sullen smile gets few friends. The facts don't always show who is right. We dress to suit the weather of most days. It takes a lot of help to finish these. Mud was spattered on the front of his white shirt. Bring your best compass to the 3rd class. Whitings are small fish caught in nets. He said the same phrase 30 times. Tight curls get limp on rainy days. Pour the stew from the pot into the plate. The urge to write short stories is rare. The baby puts his right foot in his mouth. No doubt about the way the wind blows. Dimes showered down from all sides. Leaves turn brown and yellow in the fall. It's easy to tell the depth of well. The large house had hot water taps. Whitings are small fish caught in nets. A fresh start will work such wonders. Press the pants and sew a button on the vest. The sense of smell is better than that of touch. The good book informs of what we ought to know. At night the alarm roused him from a deep sleep. Weave the carpet on the right-hand side. Wires should be kept covered. A thin stripe runs down the middle. They could laugh, although they were sad. Sweet words work better than fierce. The best method is to fix it in place with clips. He lent his coat to the tall gaunt stranger. The news struck out into restless minds. Hold the hammer near the end to drive the nail. The loss of a second ship was hard to take. Leaves turn brown and yellow in the fall. Peep under the tent and see the clowns. Those words were the cue for the actor to leave. A pencil with black lead writes best. The logs fell and tumbled into the clear stream. The corner store was robbed last night. Paper is scarce, so write with much care. The small red neon lamp went out. The ancient coin was quite dull and worn. No doubt about the way the wind blows. The lobes of her ears were pierced to hold rings. The logs fell and tumbled into the clear stream. Will you please answer that phone? Float the soap on top of the bath water. The set of chine hit the floor with a crash. The ancient coin was quite dull and worn. A gem in the rough needs work to polish. The slab was hewn from heavy blocks of slatty. Ship maps are different from those for planes. The chap slipped into the crowd and was lost. The wall phone rang loud and often. Torn scrap slithered the stone floor. Sit on the perch and tell the others what to do. Dimes showered down from all sides. Shape the clay gently into block form. This horse will nose his way to the finish. Pages bound in cloth make a book. The loss of a second ship was hard to take. Fasten 2 pins on each side. The work of a tailor is seen on each side. The brown house was on fire to the attic. Acid burns holes in wool cloth. A toad and a frog are hard to tell apart. The night shift men rate text pay. The train brought our hero to the big town. The heap of fallen leaves was set on fire. Dispense with a vest on a day like this. New pant slack cuffs and pockets. Take the match and strike it against your shoe. The pencil was cut to sharp at both ends. Greet the new guests and leave quick. A plea for funds seems to come again. The idea is to sew both edges straight. The salt breeze came across from the sea. March the soldiers past the next hill. The wreck occurred by the bank on Main Street. The Duke left the park in a silver coach. 2 plus 7 is less than 10. A salt pickle tastes fine with ham. A cruise in warm waters in a sleek yacht is fun. A break in the dam almost caused a flood. Hats are worn to tea and not to dinner. Thick glasses helped him read the print. He wrote down a long list of items. The nag pulled the frail cart along. There was a sound of dry leaves outside. Feel the heat of a weak dying flame. Ripe pears are fit for Queen's table. We don't get much money, but we have fun. We dress to suit the weather of most days. They sang the same tunes at each party. The brown house was on fire to the attic. The cigar burned a hole in the desktop. The rush for funds reached its peak Tuesday. The water in this well is a source of good health. The slush lay deep along the street. He wrote down a long list of items. She called his name many times. The slush lay deep along the street. The farmer swapped his horse for brown ox. Rake the rubbish up and then burn it. The friend gang left the drugstore. The houses are built of red clay bricks. The wreck occurred by the bank on Main Street. The hog crawled under the high fence. Smoky fires lack flame and heat. He carved a head from the round block of marble. The urge to write short stories is rare. The latch on the back gate needed a nail. Clams are small, round, soft, and tasty. She was kind to sick old people. The clock struck to mark the third period. The show was a flop from the very start. A bowl of rice is free with chicken stew. Calves thrive on tender spring grass. The logs fell and tumbled into the clear stream. See the cat glaring at the scared mouse. Dispense with a vest on a day like this. This plank was made for walking on. Flax makes a fine brand of paper. On the islands the sea breeze is soft and mild. We now have a new base for shipping. The bark of a pine tree was shiny and dark. A round mat will cover the dull spot. She blushed when he gave her a white orchid. Paint the sockets in the wall dull green. Cars and buses stalled in snowdrifts. Split the log with a quick, sharp blow. A siege will crack the strong defense. The smell of burned rags itches my nose. His wide grin earned men friends. All sat frozen and watched the screen. We are sure that one war is enough. A castle built from sand fails to endure. A cold dip restores health and zest. It was hidden from sight by a mass of leaves and shrubs. Those words were the cue for the actor to leave. We admire and love a good cook. Neat plans fail without luck. The cup cracked and spilled its contents. Nudge gentle, but wake her now. It is a band of steel 3 inches wide. The dry wax protects the deep scratch. What joy there is in living. Quench your thirst, then eat the crackers. Time brings us many changes. Screw the round cap on as tight as needed. Pick a card and slip it under the pack. He used the lathe to make brass objects. The first part of the plan needs changing. We now have a new base for shipping. A speedy man can beat this track mark. The boss ran the show with a watchful eye.